You said last week in Syracuse that these things can flip on a dime. Obviously, you did that tonight.
Well, I think we did it during the week. I give our guys a ton of credit. It's been a really good group. They practiced hard all year, but you're down 2-0, and obviously we didn't create a lot of offense, especially in game two. And, it's easy to feel down after something like that, and I just like the attitude and the approach that the guys took all week to making some things corrected that we needed to correct in our game to try to create a little bit more. And then that led to success on Friday. And then Friday now plants the seed it out in their mind, and they got to come back here. And then obviously it's a really good effort today.
What did it take you guys to defensively lock it down more compared to Friday to today?
It's funny. I think we were pretty good defensively in the first 40 minutes of the game on Friday. They didn't have a lot of chances 5-on-5. Their power play is elite. Barbalet is the best forward in this league. Sometimes when those guys get pucks in time and space or they're on the power play, they can do some special things. And they had some chances tonight. Like Subban was fabulous. I thought both goalies were fabulous tonight. That game was 1-0 going into the third. It felt like it should be at least 3-2, right? So, but I thought we defended the front of the net hard. We didn't give up as many rebound chances, which is really important. But they're going to get their chances. They're a really good team, and that line is elite.
Were you impressed with how patient your team was? Because their goalie, as you said, was standing on his head. You had to be. Were you impressed with how patient your team was throughout?
Yeah, I like that we didn't. We didn't go searching for offense in the middle of the second period or early in the third, especially with how young we are. You're getting guys like Kulik and Roseanne, who I thought both were outstanding tonight. You're getting chances and you're not scoring. He's making acrobatic saves. He's kicking his leg up behind him. And it's easy to get discouraged and then search for offense. When you start searching for offense, you usually start cheating or falling below the puck, and then they're going to score. So I thought the collectiveness of the group to play the right way and just play the shift in front of them instead of being worried about what wasn't going in was pretty darn good tonight, especially with the age of some of our forwards.
You talked about drawing the crowd into the game Friday. You get the early power play goal again tonight, how important is that lead?
The lead is important because both teams, in spite of last night's score or Friday's score, both teams are pretty committed defensive groups. You look at the history of our 16 games against each other this year. Some have gotten away from one team or the other, but most have been pretty tight checking affairs. So getting a lead.
Could have guessed that was going to happen today.
Yeah, getting a lead. Coaches ruin offensive games. So, so after a game like that, what do you think is going to be talked about by both staffs? I think that, but getting the crowd in the game, and whether it's getting a lead, a big hit, a block shot, a fight, whatever that is, we want to draw the crowd in. The crowd was electric again today, and it gave us a huge boost.
Hard in the third period. How big was that pilot goal when he got it?
Yeah, it was nice. That was something we talked about going into the third. No prevent defense, no sitting back, safe as death, play on our front foot. We play our best when we're in attack mode. Now, do you play smart? Yeah. Do you manage the puck when you have a lead in the third period? Yes, those things are critical. But we don't want to be a team that sits back. We want to attack, and that was great to see that we did there.
He was really good. Like, he got under Walcott's skin and maybe should have had a penalty, but he draws one. He was in his face a lot. I mean, he just played probably everything you wanted from him.
Yeah, I thought Larry was exceptional tonight, defensively and offensively. And that's the real special thing about guys like him and Prow and Davies. They're somewhat considered more offensive defensemen, but those guys defend hard, and they're really, really good defensive players. So they don't cheat for offense; they play it the right way.
Goalie, just 3 minutes into the game, he's a young guy, he scored a lot of goals, but he just showed the nose for the puck. I mean, just how impressive was that right away, knowing they can play against him?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, he's been doing that since Christmas. I think very similar to Paterka last year, similar to Quinn's COVID year. The first 15, 20, 25 games in this league are overwhelming for 18, 19, and 20-year-olds. And then they get their bearings a little bit. They start drawing confidence from their habits. And then they start to see that better defensive play and better habits actually leads to more offense, which is sometimes counterintuitive to young players. But the better defensively that he is, the more he has the puck. The more he has the puck, the more special things he can do. He has a knack for big moments. We saw at the World Juniors. He's not afraid of the stage at all. And I was really impressed Friday because that's his first playoff game in pro hockey. And it's a physical series. And I really liked the way Roseanne responded from last weekend. I really liked the way Cooley attacked the series.
Did watching, I mean, obviously you want him to play the first 2 games, but did watching help him maybe just ease into the series or get a feel for it or something?
Yes, I do believe. And that's something we challenged him with when we knew he wasn't going to be able to play. Don't just be a spectator. Don't be a fan. Learn, right? You learn. There's so many experiences you have to soak up. And playoff hockey in North America is different, right? It's different. And against this team, they're a physical team. And we made Cooley watch the Toronto-Tampa game earlier in the before our playoff series started, just so we could see and feel the intensity and the physicality. And then he got to do it live, in Syracuse, and I think he was better prepared at what level of intensity was going to come at him on Friday night.
What's this like the schedule-wise, like a college tournament almost? Now you gotta wait another 6 days to play, your momentum might kind of go away.
Fortunately, I coached college for 20 years, so that's a good idea. I didn't think about that, but I'm going to draw on that. It's different, but I think by what we saw this weekend, we utilized that time very well. From a rest standpoint, from a health standpoint, and then from making some adjustments that were necessary. And instead of just being able to, we tried to make some adjustments Saturday morning in Syracuse, but especially with the young players, it's one thing to show 15 video clips and then them try to go apply that under pressure. It's another thing to get to practice for 2 or 3 days and actually practice the things that you're showing them on video. It makes for better retaining of the knowledge that they need. So we'll need to regroup and rest. But then our staff, I have great staff, and we'll attack this thing and we'll think about the things that we need to do to give ourselves the best chance in game 5.
Chance of clearing rebounds today.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, way better. Way better chance. I also thought Subi controlled his rebounds better today, though. So I think it went hand in hand. Subi looked calmer in net today, and our D did a better job helping him be calm, which was great to see. And now, game 5, it's game 7, really. I mean, they're special moments, and you have to earn them. You have to earn your right to play in these moments and how fun this is. But then you have to earn the right to play in these game 7 type moments. And they're just tremendous things to get to be a part of. They're very special.
You shouldn't go 11-7 today.
A little bit because we wanted Mitch Elliott in the lineup because he's been a warrior for us and a real heart and soul guy for the last 2 years. A little bit because some guys being banged up, we just wanted to make sure we had coverage, just in case.
It's been a very easy game to get caught up in a lot of emotions and stuff. Your guys didn't get caught up in that. It's like, how good is that for you to see that develop as the series gets nasty?
Yeah, it was great. It was something that Michael Pekka and Mike Weber addressed with the group before. When Labrie gets put into the lineup, and obviously we were pretty physical, and Murray had that moment on Friday. What's probably coming? I've coached it. I've never lived that. I didn't play pro. So when you have those moments, I always let Webbs and Pecks talk about those things because they've been in those moments and know how to handle those things and know how to talk to our guys intelligently about those things through the experiences they've had in their careers. And I thought those two did a great job of getting our guys to not back down one step, but also not get caught up in some of the nonsense of it.
Subban's game wasn't his best Friday. Do you come into today knowing that he's going to be better?
Every time he's been sloppy this year, he's responded, and he usually responds resoundingly because that's the character and the competitiveness that he has. And, as I told him after the game, He played great in Syracuse. We lost. Played great both nights. He was a little sloppy on Friday, but we won. And at this time of the year, all that matters is finding ways to win. So take the confidence from the win, learn from some of the mistakes and sloppiness, and I had full confidence he was going to give us a really strong effort today.
Is it just, like you were saying, his competitiveness? What makes him able to bounce back, I guess?
Well, he loves his teammates, so he doesn't want to let them down. He's an unbelievable teammate, like top of the shelf teammate. And he's got elite competitiveness. So he doesn't want to let himself down. He doesn't want to let his teammates down. So those are two really good traits. Thank you.
Patrick,
Patrick.
Yeah, just Seth, just one for me. Aside from momentum, how do you manage the emotions and kind of the energy of a group now where you have, 4 or 5 days to kind of sit with this and fret over it and just kind of think about this?
Yeah, that's something I'll get my head around here in the next 36 hours. Tomorrow for sure will be an off day. And like I said earlier, I think we did a really good job managing this past week with a little bit of gap in between. And I've got unbelievable captains and I've got unbelievable assistant coaches. So I'll lean on those guys a lot. Mershey and I always talk after weekends like this. He'll come in my office later as he's about to leave, and we'll just kind of banter about what we think the group needs. And he's got such a great pulse on the team. And certainly early on, Monday, Tuesday, rest is a weapon. But then we'll have to lay out a game plan and make sure that we're efficient with the time we have.